Hey guys, this is the second part of the Transport Guy. I'm talking to you about what you should do basically when you get confronted by law officers, whichever the case is, right? But here's the thing, like I was saying before my last video, yeah, I got pulled over and I was explaining that to the young men, but how I handled the situation. Now, why is this important in terms of transportation, drivers, limo service, whatever the case? Guys, if you hadn't already, more than likely you're gonna get pulled over at some point in this nature of business. It's possible. Or they may be trying to direct you to go a different way. If you're taking airport trips, that's more than likely gonna happen. These things, they happen. They may give you a ticket, they may not. But the repercussions of it, what you don't want to do, you don't want to put yourself in a situation that your butt can't get you out of, right? So you respect their authority, no matter what, even if they don't deserve it, in your opinion, if they don't. But just remember, they put their lives on the line. I can promise you this one thing, without the police, states and countries will be in bad shape. Trust me. You want that little piece that you got? We need them here, right? Regardless, because we can't really say anything is safe if we don't have an enforcement system that actually works. And it's not to say it's perfect, and please forgive me if you've went through some hard times in terms of those that have authority. But regardless, it's something that's needed. But respect goes a long way. Now, to give respect, you got to give it. I recognize that. At the same time, saying yes, sir, no, sir, okay, sir, it's a sign of respect. It's a sign that I respect your authority, regardless, because you got it how you got it, and there's protocols you have to go to get it. Despite if you truly earned it or not, that's really irrelevant. That's not the point. So let's make that really clear. Authority is important. You respect it regardless. Okay? And then the second thing, too, you have to, and it's a thing that I was explaining to the young man, and this goes to anybody else, they know this, but you got to be careful what you listen to on social media. Render your ID or your driver's license. If you're in your vehicle, obviously your driver's license. And they're asking for your license, your registration, or your license and your insurance, however they ask that. Half the time, with the way things are working now, I think that they can take your driver's license, run it, and see if you got insurance. It's a lot better, quite frankly, because they know right up front. Typically, that's the thing. You have to do that regardless. And then another thing too, guys, the fact that you get pulled over and the officer's coming to your vehicle, I know this is going to be tough to say, but you got to hear me on this. You're on a losing battle if you're trying to challenge them right then and there. What I mean is this: you fight your battles in court. If this officer is doing wrong, the worstest thing you can do is try to get out your car and try to fight this person or to cuss them out, whatever the case is, even if they totally are wrong. But what you do, you make sure you record that information. You jot it down. If they give you if they're going to give you a ticket, hey, can I just get my ticket and have all the information on there? And then another thing too, guys, and this is one of the things that I always say, invest into a dash camera. Utilize your phone system. One thing that I always will do was have an attachment to my visor or window, whatever, and I'll turn that camera right there on them and make sure that voice is clear and hearing me. If they see these cameras and monitors on, they may not react as bad. But if you're doing this and doing all of that, that's going to agitate them. Oh, we got the right to do that. Yeah, but you may be kindling fire that don't need to be kindled. You got to think wise and smart about a lot of this stuff. People do that all the time because they think that intimidates. Well, maybe it may back down some officers, but not all. I can promise you that. Some of them, if anything, now they're going to start searching for stuff. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is not me shouting down any officers at all, not at all. But what I am saying is don't put yourself in a situation for them to be buttholes towards you. And and half the time, over 95% just doing their job. Okay? They have to take precautions. Let's make it easier on them. If you're a law-abiding citizen, then what you got to worry about? Unless, you just done committed a crime or, you riding dirty. Okay, maybe you got a legitimate reason. But I promise you, it's best to handle our situation accordingly. So, guys, respect authority. Whether you agree with it or not is not the point. The point is, it may do you well to take the high road. Yield your insurance, your driver's license. It's federal law. You absolutely have to do it. Don't get into a confrontation, not a one that is uncalled for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have the right to question, why they get pulled over. But you can do that while you give them the driver's license. You should know automatically when they come to your vehicle why they're pulling you over. Okay? If you're a law-abiding citizen. Go ahead and already have that because they're going to ask you. And a lot of times, some of them be like, I stopped and pulled you over. Sometimes that's kind of how they come right away, shooting straight. So just go ahead and do the right thing first. And if you feel like you've been unjustified, again, don't fight that battle while you're in your car. Just take your notes and go from there. And I'm talking to the driver and transportation because your driver's license will depend on your attitude. Meaning that if you get into this guy, you end up going to jail, you lose money, you lose time, you can have your license revoked or whatever. So just do it the right way. And always use a calm voice, too. Even if you're nervous. And you may just want to tell them, hey, I'm a little bit nervous. And they may ask why you're nervous. And you'd be like, because I got pulled over and I want to make sure I do it the right way. A lot of times if you're honest like that, using a softer tone and giving this person authority, 90% of the time, they won't be as harsh. They may be directed to the point because that's typically how they're trained. But if you're coming to them correct, it'll go a lot easier. And they may even show you grace. But even if they give you a ticket, the outcome, the worst outcome, is better than you going off on them. Okay? So let's not focus on what social media does so much. Positive stuff and how to handle yourself correctly, yes. But stuff that goes against the law, no. So let's be sure, we go about this the right way. And like I said, if we do that, things will go well with us. Okay? So let's just keep that perspective. And that's just something I want to throw out there. Because I'm all about making sure my people, they're good, you know what I'm saying? And believe me, I know what it's like firsthand. I didn't get pulled over enough. But I respect their authority. I'm going to do what's right. And I'm not going to fight my battles on the street. I'm going to fight it in court. OV Transport Guy, coming to you. Talk to you later. Bye for now.